Good evening, everybody. Hello out there on the wonderful World Wide Web. My name is Cipriano Ortega, and tonight we are here once again at the Buell Media Center doing the wonderful Sacred Voices open mic on a second Friday, like we always do. And before I forget, I'll mention our other open mics. Our first Friday open mic is at Cafe Tonantzin on 10th and Santa Fe during the Art Walk. Our third Friday is going to be currently at Book Bar on Tennyson Street. That is going to change in the next couple weeks, but we will keep you updated on the future location of our third open mic. And obviously tonight, we are here at the wonderful Buell Media Center. We have a lot of good performers lined up tonight, but before we do that, just wanted to read our wonderful Sacred Voices mission statement. Sacred Voices promotes unity and healing among Black, Indigenous, people of color, BIPOC plus communities through creative expression while empowering youth to find their voice, power, and become leaders in their own communities. All right, so that's a little bit about us. You can find us at Sacred-Voices on the internet. You can also find us on Facebook at Sacred Voices Denver, Instagram at Sacred Voices Denver as well too. So that is that. And so for you performers out there tonight, you have 5 to 10 minutes to perform whatever you would like. If you're over time, I'll obviously signal to you and get out the big cane and take you off the stage. No, I will not do that. And then let's see what else here. I'm just reading all the standardized things that we got to get into. The show is recorded. And if you would like your own segment of your recorded performance, talk to me or Aston after the streaming is done, and we can get a copy of that to you. And also, please make sure if you want to be followed via social media to make sure to mention your social media handles. Obviously, this is streamed live currently right now, but also post-show. If you'd like your stuff to be not streamed constantly, just let us know. Obviously, this is a public media center and a station, so if you're saying, cuss words and such, you most likely will not be broadcasted that way, but you will be broadcasted through here. So there is no censorship through Sacred Voices, but there is a little bit sometimes with the Buell Media Center as it is a public media access program. All right, let's see. Yes. So for microphone technique, I think all of you are familiar with. Obviously, try to stay 1 inch to 2 inches away from it, and obviously keep your voice centered on it, because if you go away from it, obviously it cuts out. So we want to hear your beautiful voices and the things that you're communicating, because your voice is sacred. So see what I did there? It's a very good point. All right. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get started here. I'm going to invite my friend Paul up on the harmonica to get us started with me here. All right. Let's see, I'll set the mood today with something I was working on not too long ago. Yeah, I think we can just do me and you right now. All right, so I've experienced a lot of rejection in my life and a lot of time where I get letters that always say congratulations or unfortunately. And with those two words, we both know how they feel. So this one is called The Bone Level. I'm always expecting it. The wince, the draw of breath like a bow drawn to my heart. Unfortunately not, but always a but. We regret to inform you, but, always a but. Unfortunately, expect no expectations to be met. Alone at the train station, checking my watch. Train never comes to my stop. But hey, it's okay. I'll just walk. I know what it's like to march barefoot in the snow. Keep my brow down low. Keep on treading through, keeping that internal glow. I've made my cold my own friend, and now I know why there was never much time to be expected anyway. But when I do occasionally feel a warm touch, it's all the better. And with your rejection letter, I'll hold on to my letter opener, poised and at the ready. For a stab to the heart is much better than a stab in the back. Thank you very much. The Bone Level. by good old Cipriano Ortega. That's me. All right. So up on the docket, we are going to get into Venetia. Are you ready? Come on up, Venetia. Venetia Evans.
All right. Hello, everyone. Oh, here we go. Let me make sure. Hello, hello. Hi. Hey, you do have to be right in the center. All right. Hello, my name is Venetia Evans, and I am a musician, a music teacher, and a moonologer. And I'm going to be singing one of my first singles called Butterfly today. And then after, we'll do a recording, I think. So this is Butterfly. Never did hope for somebody who cares. Never did want someone, life is just not fair. I've waited long to hold on, a dream I wish come true. My heart could no longer wait on a love so sweet and new. Now I am praying. Now I am fine. Now I know someone, my heart was always mine. I am good for someone, for a love that looks like mine. Can you be that someone who knows that I'm just fine? I feel my divine truth is inside of me. Let me be that someone who spreads their own wings. Now I am praying. Now I am fine. Now I know someone, my heart was always mine. Let me be my butterfly. Let me be my butterfly. Let me spread my wings and fly. Let me spread my wings and fly. Let me be happy and free. Let me be my butterfly. Let me be my butterfly. Let me spread my wings and fly. Let me spread my wings and fly. Let me be happy and free. May all beings be happy and free. May all beings be happy and free. May I be who I wish to be. May I be who I wish to be. Don't believe that will never be me. 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 Thank you. All right. Okay. And I have a second one that is a recording of, it's called Scared of the Moon. It's a cover by Michael Jackson that it's available on YouTube right now. And I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you very much, Venetia. That was beautiful. And way to go in the a cappella. That is not an easy feat to do. Very, very nice. Yes, yes. We have a recording of your cover that's going to be playing right now, too. So, thank you.
Alone she lies waiting, surrounded by gloom, invaded by shadows, painting the room. The light from the window cuts through the air and paints the child lying there, scared of the moon. She pulls up her covers and shivers in fright. She hides from the color that rides on the night. The light through the window that lights up the sky and causes her mournful cry, scared of the moon. There's nothing wrong, don't be bothered, they said. It's just child fantasies turning your head. No need to worry, it's really too soon. But there she lies shivering, scared of the moon. Scared of the moon, scared of the moon, scared of the moon, scared of the The years go by swiftly, and soon childhood ends. But life is still fearful when evening descends. The fear of a child still intrudes through the night, returning on beams of light, scared of the moon. Feeling of terror she felt as a youth has turned to a fantasy into the truth. The moon is the enemy, twisting her soul and taking its fearful toll, scared of the moon. But now there are others who sit in a room and wait for the sunlight to brighten their gloom.
All right, let's hear it one more time for Venetia, everybody. So, Venetia, I have a question. With that beautiful voice of yours, do you sing lullabies to your boys there? Yes. I would hope so. I would certainly hope so. That was very much a lullaby way to bring us into the evening. I appreciate that very much. That actually inspired me to read a poem about my mother, since we have a mother here tonight. This is called I Am. I am my mother's kitchen, white flour, chocolate cake, chilly in the evening. I am dark, deep matcha tea, earthly love, gulped down warm, bitter, 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 then sweet. I am a long, low drone, cradling ideas and holding down the beat. I am the sleeping beast, finally at peace after eons of war. A gentle giant sleeps. My love is green with envy. For some, I am a vibrant bird. For others, a wounded, dying dog. Thank you. Thank you. You inspired me to read that. All right. Up next, we have Suki. Come on up and sing us some songs. Mic check as well, too.
Check my mic. 1, 2. Check mic 1, 2. Hi, how we all doing today? Good. So I got a dad joke for everybody. Are you ready? All right. So what did the buffalo say to his kid? Anybody? Any guesses? Bye, son. Today's dad joke, everybody. Well, I guess I can talk loud enough. I hope that everybody can hear me. So my name is DJ Suki Chan. I am a Colorado-based DJ and independent artist. I like to make a lot of different things, and I like to include a lot of different people. That is why you'll never, ever, ever be able to put me in one niche.
It's good to be diverse. All right. Go ahead and take it away whenever you are ready.
Meow, 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 meow. Still have any vocals? Meow. Oh, there we are. Hello. All right. I'm ready.
I'm a
Party girl, and yeah, I rock. Yes, I'm a party girl, and I rock. When I walk in the room, I bring all of my friends, and I
have this big smile,
and I
start all these trends.
but on the inside, I don't feel all that grand. I wanna take a stand. Can somebody hold my hand? I will keep being me, no matter what I feel, or no matter what you think that you see. I will keep being me, no matter what I feel, or no matter what you think that you see. You gotta act this way, you gotta smile this way, you gotta be this way, you gotta look this way, you gotta be this, you gotta be that. Well, guess what? I'm not doing any of that. You are fired up. Next, I'm not giving in to the pressures, motherfuckers. Well, that's
I feel so free.
I
Just a
myself being me. I was born to shine this way. I will keep being me, no matter what I feel, or no matter what you think that you see. I will keep being me, no matter what I feel, or no matter what you think that you see.
My name is Suki Chan. I have a message for each and every one of you. It doesn't matter what other people say. It doesn't matter what they think. Just be true to who you really are. 'cause you are bright, and you shine like a brilliant stars.
I hope that you guys enjoyed that song. It's about uncovering your divinity and giving yourself permission to shine. Because as Marianne Williams says, who am I not to be brilliant, talented, gorgeous, and fabulous? Actually, who am I to be all those things? That's what stuck out to me the most. She's a powerful woman. This next song is called Light Her. It's about being in a gaslighting, narcissistic relationship and reclaiming your power back. So when you're ready, you can cue it. Thanks, guys.
If you like it,
Gaslight a latte. If you like it, come break me. If you like it, gaslight a latte. If you like it, come shake me. If you like it, gaslight a latte. If you like it, come break me. If you like it, gaslight a latte. If you like it, come shake me. Knock me down, turn me around, pull me around, knock me off my solid ground. Knock me down, pull me around, knock me off my solid ground. Oh, you confuse me over and over again. Oh, you confuse me over and over again. Oh, I'm down in myself and I'm hating myself. Oh, you confuse me over and over again. I'm done. I'm lost. I'm so confused. Don't know that I'm being abused. That I'm manipulated. I'm wrong. Everything I think and do is crazy. Maybe I'm just lazy. Maybe I should be the reason why you're leaving. Every single thing
is wrong to
you will bleep you.
You're angry.
You're hit. Maybe you should get counseling, 'cause you're crazy, little miss. I'm done, he says. You got me begging on my knees, hands on my knees, whispering, babe, please don't leave me.
If you like it,
Gaslight a latte. If you like it, come break me. If you like it, gaslight a latte. If you like it, come shake me. If you like it, gaslight a latte. Come on. If you like it, come try and break me down. If you like it, gaslight a latte. There's still plenty more to come.
come shake me.
Knock me down, turn me around, pull me around, knock me off my solid ground. Kind of make me feel bad, try to make me feel like I'm so wrong for feeling this way. Oh, you confuse me over and over again. Oh, you confuse me over and over again. Oh, I'm down in myself and I'm hating myself. Oh, you confuse me over and over again. I'm lost. I'm so confused. Don't know that I'm being abused. That I'm manipulated. I'm wrong. Every single thing I do is crazy. Maybe I'm just lazy. Maybe I should be the reason why you're leaving.
Everything I do
Is wrong to you, so bleep you. You're crazy. You're hit. Maybe you should get counseling, 'cause you're crazy, little miss. I'm done, he says. Bye. Got me begging on my knees, hands on my knees, whispering, babe, please don't leave me. I apologize for the language. I kind of forgot about that.
You got me
Begging on my knees, hands on my knees, whispering, babe, please don't leave me. If you like it, gaslight a latte. If you like it, come shake me. If you like it, gaslight a latte. If you like it, come break me.
If you like it, gaslight a latte. If you like it, come break me.
If you like it, gaslight a latte. If you like it, come shake me. You cannot knock me down, turn me around anymore.
Come break me.
No, you cannot knock me down, turn me around anymore.
Come shake me.
You cannot knock me down, turn. I'm
I'm
done holding back.
I
I take my power back. You cannot knock me down, turn me around anymore. You cannot knock me down, turn me around anymore. No, you can't. No, you can't.
You cannot knock me down.
All the women, all the men,
yeah,
all the people. It's time to take a stand up and to walk away.
Fucking gaslighter. I fucking hate you.
I fucking hate your guts. It's normal for you to feel bad.
You cannot knock
The best
me
thing
down,
you can
turn
do is
me
walk
around
away.
Anymore.
No, you can't knock
No,
me down
you
anymore.
cannot knock me
Uh-uh.
down, turn me around
Anymore.
No, you cannot
I'm a goddess.
knock me down, turn me around
Knock you
anymore.
down, you little
Yeah,
gaslighter.
yeah, I'm a spirit, I'm a goddess, I'm a fighter. Knock you down, you
That's
little
right.
fucking gaslighter.
Come at me, bro.
I fucking hate you, I fucking
Hate your guts.
Won't minimize myself for you anymore.
I'm done holding back, right?
I
Won't minimize myself for you anymore, right? I'm
I'm
done holding back. Don't ever hold
I
back
take
anybody.
my power back.
Walk away.
I rise up. Then
Not heal.
Then
I
go
do it all over again. I'm healthy now.
Face a new
I'm present.
relationship
I'm one with the divine.
And find something better
Out there. As I journey far from the mothership. Yeah. There's gotta be something better.
And just
Everybody,
sitting there and
there's a right
taking it.
relationship for each and every one of you. We can all learn. Don't let the pain, don't let the bitterness, the experience hold you back from missing out. Because I know what it's like to feel scared, to be unable to feel like you live in the present and be in a relationship again. And it took me years from being raped, assaulted, held against my will for 10 days to be able to engage with people again and be who I am now and stand here as an empowered goddess woman who can now encourage other people to give themselves permission to do the same, be the best that they can be. Go find those dream relationships. Go find those healthy relationships and shine, because each and every one of you guys is amazing. Thank you so much to Venetia for her beautiful songs earlier. Thank you to our host and our awesome MC here. And that wraps up my short set, guys. Enjoy.
Thank you very much, Suki. I appreciate that and you sharing all those personal things. Where can we find you at on Instagram?
I have a Facebook,
Facebook,
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud.
You guys can get those links next time at the next show.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Next time. Ah, yes, relationships. They sink ships, you know. Terrible things sometimes. Thank you, Venetia, so much. See you next time. You take care. All right. So let's go a little bit more into some poetry here. You're off to the stock show, right, Suki? Have fun at the stock show. So I'm going to read this one, and then I think Charlie's lurking in the shadows back over there. Charlie, are you over there? I think that's you. That's your silhouette there. This one's called Try Me. You're scared. You're scared of clowns, your boss, of running into your ex, your next door neighbor, his dog, your dog. You're scared of things you can't understand. You're scared of me. You're scared of you. You're scared of everything, and you don't know, well, you don't know what to do. And yet, I try over and over. I sit in a box in an aisle one, and I amuse you. You arrive at thoughts you didn't think of yourself. You buy into them. I get it. You had a coupon, and I was the one on your shopping list. I was on sale. I swallow some AA batteries and say anything you want to hear. I'll speak to anyone who wants to lend an ear. But as of today, I speak for myself. I am speaking for myself, by myself, all alone in this redundant department store. I'm 2 for 1, hun, and no one gives a damn, a dime, or anything of time. I'm just another product to amuse you that wasn't made in China. Thank you very much. Of course, there's nothing wrong with being made in China. I mean, it depends, but, you know, that's the way it goes. All right, speaking of poetry, Charlie, you want to come on down here and give us some things? Oh, you called it. You called it. I saw you lurking in the shadows there, you beautiful thing, you. Thing? I'm not calling you a thing. You're a beautiful human being, right? I mean, however you identify. You know?
I see the wordplay.
We can keep going, you know.
Yeah.
Take it away, Charlie. Charlie, everybody.
Heyo. How's everyone doing? Good. Good. Before I start, so my name's Charlie at Colibri MC. I've been doing poetry for about 5, 7, probably more than a decade at this point, because like I've been writing that long. But yeah, before I forget, because I usually always forget, y'all can find me on my social medias, Aztec King 365. AZTECKING 365. Alright? Huh? It's 2 words and a set of numbers. But yes, I appreciate you too. Okay. Let's see. What? I'm gonna start off with a poem that I just wrote as I was driving to this open mic. Fair warning, kids in the online universe and people in the audience, do not write and drive because yeah, that's technically illegal. Anyway, truth be told, I'll never be too old to spit my truths through my gap tooth. Slivers of verbiage mined from my 6x6x6 square foot piece of land my ancestors bled for, never realizing it would give my roots the nutrients to grow. Table flipping is my specialty, where I can breathe in brimstone but exhale in icicle shards that cut through lead-lined walls, because I don't need to be Superman when my superpowers are tied to my very existence. The quantum hit myopic Titanic looking giant from the Southlands. My eyes got cataracts from staring into white supernovas that act like prima donnas just because I know how to roll my R's. But you can't. They weep and whine. I can spit my rhymes with a hint of lime y un poco de chile porque es mi derecho de ser el invitado sin invitación, pero tú no lo puedes. Puntando dedo porque no soy un criminal. How funny you think I'm the one who usually acts silly, acting out of character as expected from a brown-sounding enigma like me, but you can't. Dress how I do it, walk how I walk, let alone spit what I spit, because I got so many You got so many silver spoons in your every bodily crevice that you can barely even breathe. How ironic, right? You can't breathe. It sounds so familiar, but hey, maybe you can get 3 officers to relieve the pressure. 1 to turn a blind eye, 1 to cover his ears, and 1 to shut his mouth. But you can't, and you never will. Dun dun. It's a draft, but hey, I wanted to start with something fresh. Speaking about starting something fresh, by the way, I also write my own books, and my next book is officially going to be released in about a month or so, give or take how much, people, reserve it and, order it, because, I'm trying to make some money. It costs money to be creative. It covers just my gas bills, aka, traveling and stuff. But yeah. You can find the link to reserve your own copy of El Colibrí Violeta on my IG. But yeah. As y'all can tell, I've run off of random tangents this way, that way. Yeah, that's how my brain works. So y'all are in for a ride. All right. Ooh, this one is an old piece. Old. This one was... Ooh, I think I first performed this one back when I was really into being present at protests and social justice events. And this particular one, because, I'll just say it happened at the Geo facility. Y'all know we have a lovely Geo facility. To the people who don't know what Geo is, it's basically where if you look like me, or you look like somebody who speaks a different language that's not from here, y'all get a very fine room in their Geo facility, aka their detention center, aka a concentration camp, really, let's be honest. But yeah, back in the day, I was out there during this one protest. I kid you not, when I was performing this piece, as I was looking at my phone and looking down at my chain, I could see a red dot show up on my chest, because as y'all can probably already guess, across the way there were some buildings and people were standing on the buildings. So yeah, lesson learned: people will be jackasses just because you say stuff. But anyway, Clandestino brown tokens of my tierra morena, my genetic signature, a proven fact that my culture hasn't been erased or dribbled down to what can pass as just ethnic seasoning at your dinner table. Corazón hecho del mismo acero como la bestia, calcomido y oxidado por cada muerte inocente, pero todavía le da duro por las vías de mi cuerpo moreno. My words can be tracked, but never broken into pieces. Flying on the shards of shattered, tied down dreams and hopes they try to justify as the American dream, where the streets are painted gold to cover up the rotten lies and sacrilege white settlers had the privilege of when making a nation on stolen land with colored souls, enslaved both near and far. I smile when the sun shines in my eyes, momentary blindness maybe, but I can still see how my cafe agave nectar discs can cut through all your bullshit. Cradling warmth with every blink I take. Those are the jaguar eyes that can see through miles and miles of barbed wire fencing and cement blocks meant to keep our people under lock. Tengo dos ojos, quizás no pasan un examen de la vista. No importa porque pa' eso tengo mis lentes volcánicos que me protejan de esas miradas maquiavélicas que solamente suspiran al ver mis tesoros de oro. They're enough to remind the world, you can take away my home, but I'll still have my jaguar pride beam out of my eyes. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say for that. Alrighty. Think. Hold up, I just did that one. Gotta organize this. Oh, okay. Before I do this one, I gotta give a little context. So, we about to get real personal, y'all. I recently got a new job, aka I quit my old job. I'm not gonna go into the details of my new job because confidentiality, y'all know. That's next level. But my old job, this is where I can go ham now. My old job, I used to work at the post office. Some people in the crowd might know where I'm going with this, but yeah. But while I was over there during COVID times, I was basically one of Santa's helpers, to say the least, aka we would call it the sweatshop. We would just process all your packages, all your letters, anything you mailed out, I would basically touch eventually. Me or my work crew. But eventually over like 2 whole years, you would think they would give you a raise, offer a promotion, this, that, the fourth. But nah. It's all, they would just bypass myself or anyone else, a part of my work crew. So eventually I got tired of it. And this poem comes from that. Speak white. I was born into a home that you are quick to dismiss as the ghetto. But every scrape and crease I have tattooed across my leatherback parchment skin begs to differ. Truth be told, you might call it the hood, but I can recite every single vowel and street consonant from my house to where I would go to school, to where I would hang out, to where I would laugh my heart out. I used to think I had to get out of the hood. I had to make my way out of these streets I call home. Because that's what everyone else kept on saying. Everyone else but my friends, but everyone else but my parents, everyone else but myself. I'm the transient audio acoustic skinwalker where I can blend in the background wherever I go. Blending my letters and numbers, I can speak in different tongues you people call exotic. Stenciled, outspoken chalk drawings of my own creation where I still get told I must speak differently when it comes to being classy. A never-ending parabola of, you can't say this because you sound like a hoodlum. I will never apologize for the way I speak. Because the way I speak isn't meant just for you. I speak for myself and the hazel eyes who sacrificed their lives for me to be in the same space as you. I speak for the jungle cats that taught my ancestors how to hunt in the dark. I speak for the volcanic desert winds that only know how to show love through their scorching kisses and hugs. I speak for myself. None of that catering, white-coated nonsense you expect to see someone like me to bend the knee for. My encyclopedic lyricism that strings and strums in my head has no gatekeeper, for I'm just a regular brown speaker for those who might be vocally weaker. I code switch to keep my identity a mystery, but honestly, I can keep up a false facade eternally to keep you living ignorantly, happily. Because if one thing's for certain, in all my years of living, I ain't owing nobody anything when it comes to speaking my mind. If you don't like how my words echo and shake the gilded, hollowed white halls you so cherished, then don't let the motherfucking door hit you on the way out. Porque así es como este compa habla con puros huevos y cojones y machetazos estilo mestizo, sin siendo el más presumido, porque lo que yo siento es puro orgullo de ser moreno. I forgot to mention, yeah, I do Spanish too. Yeah, I do Spanish. Just like how Spanish did me. Yeah, it does. Yeah, before I close it out, just to remind everyone, you can find me at Aztec King 365. Link in my bio to reserve your copy of, wow, lights are blindy, that's why. But anyway, yes, link in my bio to reserve your own copy of El Colibrí Violeta, $23 a pop, and that's basically going to fund my expenses, because this year, my New Year's resolution is to actually do my first ever, like, poetry tour. So, if y'all reserve a copy, that means I could, yeah, more money for me, and that means I could spread, you know, my art around. But anywhoozin'. Last one. This one's like an all-time favorite, because I think this poem came from an idea one of my students had like 6-7 years ago, because, like, yeah, I used to be a teacher. I've done everything at this point. But yeah, if I could take the blue end of the eraser, the one that legend said erased even ink, I would take it and wipe away the written laws white cops use to justify the burning, salty marks that run up and down your face as another innocent life is shot dead because of their race. If I could take a Sharpie and cross out the white eyes that try to stratify and divide your worth into either being an anchor baby or a criminal, I would take it and black out the white judgment so the sun can shine through that bullshit snowstorm, cold as the winter freezes only when you try to be you. If I could take whiteouts and erase the imaginary border that is meant to reinforce this white order, I would take it and erase the mouths of the same politicians who preach sermons from their ivory seats about how ethical it is to leave us out of the picture like pieces of unwanted dried meat. If I could fix this world, I would take every single glare and pot shot that was meant for you so your wings don't get clipped believing you won't amount to anything but shit. If I could teach them how to love, we could have a generation of young minds who forget this passed down colonist mentality that I'm better than you since my reality was built on the back of yours. If I could, I would live in the pages of history as a synonym for infamy, because clearly I stand as a living testimony for all the villainy that comes from disrupting the status quo. Trust me, I know. If I could be the ocean, majestic, filled with life, I would take your tears and send them to the deepest trench I could find, so the sun can't be reflective of the pain you're in. If I could be La Tierra Morena and enriching, I would let you take roots so you don't get swept away with the white tears and fears. If I could make a bridge to Mars so rich folks believe they can leave this island just for us, I would even pay for the gas mileage. If you could live in a world where you don't need to live under this same psychosystemic toxic oppression we did, I would lay myself out like Prometheus so the cannibal, bald-headed Wall Street bought-off politicians can tear me to shreds so you don't need to shed another lágrima and live sin ese miedo. Dun, dun. That's it.
Thank you very much, Charlie, once again, everybody. You know, Charlie, you worked at the post office. One of my favorite poems and poets is by the guy by the name of Charles Bukowski. I don't know if you know him, but he wrote a novel called Post Office, because he worked at the post office for a long time. So I would recommend it. And oddly enough, I have a book by him and some of his poems, and this is called My Mexican Buddy. So I did not write this. Charles Bukowski wrote this. And I'll read this and we'll get into more wonderful creations. My Mexican buddy. I liked him. He was clever, and he could make me laugh. And often when he worked the case next to mine, we would stick our letters together and talk, even though it was against the rules. He had become an American citizen, had found his way into the post office, and owned a movie theater in Mexico City. I usually disliked ambitious fellows, but this guy was humorous, so I forgave him and his ambitions. "Hey, man," he asked me one night, "how long has it been since you had a nice piece of ass?" "Oh, God," I said, "I don't know. 10 years, I guess." "10 years," he said. "How old are you?" 50. "Well, listen, I've been shacked up with this crazy woman, you know, and I've told her all about you, and I think I might send her over your way one night, and she could cook you dinner or something. How about it?" "Please do not project your troubles onto me," I told him. "I didn't think it would work," he said with a grin. The supervisor walked up behind us and stood there. "Listen, I've warned you guys about talking." "About talking when?" I asked. "Listen," he said, "just keep it up, and I'll fry your ass." "You win," I said. The supervisor walked away. Interesting things like that happen here almost every night. So, yeah, Charles Bukowski, everybody. Very interesting dead guy. A very severe alcoholic in his time as well, too. Anyway, all right. Let's see. Who would actually? Yes. Up next, we are going to go into the world of Zoom. We have Daniel coming through us through the waves of Zoom. Everybody, Daniel, everybody. Yes, and also as a reminder, since we have a good amount of poets and also a wonderful featured poet that will be last but certainly not least, keep your sets to about 5 to 7 minutes, just so you all know. So thank you very much.
Hi, can y'all hear me? Hello?
We can hear you. Yes, we can hear you, Daniel. Go ahead and take it away.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay. Hola. Me pone muy contento escuchar español. He regresado desde Denver hasta Puerto Rico, so I'm speaking to you directly from the island of Puerto Rico, where I am originally from. So thanks to Zoom and all this digital world, we can connect again. I originally participated for the first time last year, so I'm very excited to show y'all what I got for this. It's titled "When I Decided to Stop Bleeding the Ink of Life." When I decided to stop bleeding the ink of life, I went to the people who knew what it felt like to carry the printer within their own bearing. They were masters of skills I needed to once and for all take all of the ink cartridges out. For my body was not to be my own, having means to create another. Blood red ink brought monthly inner wars. A tsunami of intrusive thoughts, feelings of being disembodied, taken over against my will, against my own health, against my goals, plans, and ambition. Depression and anxiety rose to heights, poisonous for my mental health, dangerous to my physical experience. Waves of violently swinging moods, pushing and pulling against each other, every second exhausting, debilitating, weekly, monthly, daily, yearly, always. I could not bear this any longer. I was not losing my life to anyone. I wasn't yet living my own life. And I would never be able to if I kept the organs that had determined it all before I was. The scars of my womb are worth it all, canceling the terror, the rage of an unknown body taking over my entire existence. And the worst of all, with disease, with hatred, violence, violated through history. Having a uterus shouldn't be a death sentence, a rape sentence, a given to be unsafe in every space, in every, conversation. A uterus is no more, but only here. When I decided to stop bleeding the ink of life, I was finally born. And that's it. That's the piece. And I wrote it.
And if
for
you
my
don't hear it, Daniel,
gender.
they're applauding for you if you don't hear it. So you're getting
Thank
very
you
well,
so much.
good praise.
I wrote that for my gender affirming surgery, and it really saved my life. So I wanted to take some time to reflect on it, share. So thanks.
You finished
That's
up there,
all I
Daniel?
got. Yes, that's that.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Of course. Thank you, Daniel, as always. And thank you for sharing that beautiful story with us. And we look forward to hearing from you once again next time. All right. One more screen friend of ours. We have Lynn coming on up here on the screen. We have all these Zoom buddies, as I like to call them. So, but obviously, yes, and also to tell you all, so if you know of anybody who's not here physically in Denver, Colorado, we do feature anybody from the World Wide Web. So if you know anybody who would like to come in and feature themselves via Zoom, we're always happy to have that. So just so we know. Are we ready over there, Aston, for Lynn? Almost. I always feel like a sports or newscaster, you know. It's like, this just in. Elvis Presley's daughter died. There is that. And then Jeff Beck died as well, too, this week. So a lot of things happening. Here we are. All right. Take it away. Hello, Lynn.
Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me clearly.
You are loud and clear. Yes, take it away.
Nice. So this first piece does not really have a title, so I'm just going to go ahead with it. With this ass, he should have a Morbius grip. I take that back. That's a Freudian slip. Replace it with a forehead kiss. I protest this display of need. I don't have his attention, so I grieve. Matter of fact, send this to his feed. At him. It's almost had me. Reading bell hooks so I don't use love lightly almost had me. Telling strangers what like might be. But don't get me wrong, at times my chat is mighty. Occasionally checking what the streets say, but it gets feisty. So after a good conversation, I'm planning our life together. Fight me. Please don't. I'd rather sip saddle and slow than have this conversation up front. There's a subtle fear of rejection. This delivery, a projection, so I beg you still a listen like Tyson. If you don't, I'll act like I don't care, Mark Manson. You see, this is the biggest phony on air. I'll wear my heart into sleeves, cashmere dreams, but for him, I'll cut it up all bare. I'm trying to be sincere. I do not enjoy this. No warm, fuzzy feelings, pain level, endometriosis. You see that last line? I'll call out my own hyperbole. But if he's ready to see what like could be, he should give me a call. But that was 2 months ago. Left this poem, now I'm back, call it sabbatical, radical, not tactical, eat it up like Hannibal, the cannibal. I'll like him from a distance. Respond to his text with no quickness, you'll witness how I bury potential loves because of meekness. Obliterate the what ifs for what is, make it seamless. This lover girl can't breathe. I'm tired of using uncertainty to drive this belief. I'll thug it out and stay scheming. Because after all, aren't we all just chilling? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lynn. Would you like to tell us where you are at the moment? First, you were in Hungary. Are you still in Hungary at the moment?
Yes, I am still in Hungary.
And where are you from originally?
I'm Ugandan.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, that was fantastic. Very, very beautiful.
Thank you.
Very,
Thank
very
you.
nice. I love all those
I have one
different
more.
flows. Yeah, go ahead and share one more.
I
Yeah.
have one more piece. It's called "The Bible, Smoked Mirrors, and Ashtrays." My Bible reminds me of an ashtray. The dust it has collected is a burnt brown, something close to Earl Grey, hard to take down, hard to sit on this soft pallet like a thorned crown. My Bible reminds me of mirrors, too plain to morph my truth into something that it's not. It reminds me of my birth certificate, pulled out only as a get out of strife ticket, promises with my name written. My Bible reminds me of a glue stick, keeping paper-bound projects together, only used when I feel a loose grip. I fear I've slowly begun to lose grip. Question: what happens to books abandoned by their owners? Do they shed page after page hoping to get noticed? Do they delete text and rewrite themselves anew? Better question: what happens to hearts fighting not to be abandoned by their owners? Do they take up this heaviness to get noticed? Do they make room in this already enclosing space? Will it be able to hang on farther, capture the sun, hope its rays blind everything unholy to me? I'm struggling to keep his goodness known to me. Spirit, cleanse this palette a methylated blue, black out the fear of consanguinity, or starting afresh with you. May my Bible remind me of something lighter, like lifted smoke, a light gray, or slight rains in the month of May. May my Bible remind me of something lighter, like the texture of flour, a sip of water, or better still, the return of an estranged daughter. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lynn. Lynn, everybody, thank you so much. I'm so glad you joined us through the World Wide Web. This is why I love the internet, is we get beautiful creatives such as Lynn. So thank you so much, Lynn, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you very much. You have a good, is it evening there, day there? What time is it there?
It's actually 3 a.m.
Well, you
so
have
it's
a
like
good, you have a, yeah, you have a good night then. You get some rest.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
All right. Up next, we have Sparrow. Sparrow, come on down.
Alrighty. Can you hear me? All right. This is a spoken piece titled Game Over. Every waking hour of my existence is spent contemplating if I'll make it to the next. I am a dead woman walking. Those whose survival is guaranteed and favored are immortal ones, immune to the arrows pulled and released by game creators. Time is confined, so I spend every waking hour painting over my target to be worthy of being spared. Ticks of the clock tell me death stands at my door. It's no lie, time is a grim reaper. The hourglass of the walking dead is tipped over, sand stolen, dying by the hands of those who call themselves truth seekers. I am a dead woman walking. Very few of us catch arrows. The lucky ones miss. NPCs grow weary of writing our death certificates. My defect is that once the arrow hits my bullseye, it's game over. Immortal ones can respawn, sit back, watch, play, or start over. Immortal ones find comfort in our graveyards, for not the aesthetic, it's the silence they seek. They sit on our gravestones, invade our resting place, and mock us because the dead can't speak. To be the walking dead is to understand the instructions say I cannot be saved. It is the path of my life and the life of my children that will always be paved. I am a dead woman walking. To try making every waking hour livable for the next, we abide by a survival guide written by game players who'd barely won death. It says if we don't behave in ways that satisfies game creators, we'll be caged. A caged bird with broken wings is a bird no longer singing. It's a body that can no longer live up to its potential. They disable us so that we rely on their instructions and are unable to write our own. I am a dead woman walking. Game creators forget. It is we who chopped down the wood and carved the shaft. We who pulled apart our feathers and placed every single one for the fletching. We who ripped hair from our scalp, our hair wrapped around the knock that knocks us down. We who mine the steel of the bullet points they so eagerly pull and release. Sincerely, Sparrow. Thank you.
Beautiful, powerful stuff. Thank you so much, Sparrow, as always, for giving us your wonderful thoughts on such a heavy topic. What is your name? Boss Slim, come on up. Come on up.
Pretty tall, y'all. I appreciate it. All right, 1 second. Okay, so I'm gonna warm up real quick, so this bear with me. Ooh, come stop your crying, it will be alright. Just hold my hand, hold it tight. I will protect you from all around you. I will be here, don't you cry. All right, so the first poem is called 50. Okay, my bad. The first poem is called 56. What if I told you your dreams could be your destiny, but no one could take you there? Would you walk that road alone? When the end of time comes and the tidal waves become too turbulent, but that ocean still needs to be crossed, would you cross it? Even swim if you must. The strength that is asked from us when we want what matters most is that of a God. A relentless battle against every part of you that is still afraid. Hope lies deep within us all, and it's the darkest and bleakest of days that it shines the brightest. Next one is, thanks. Next one is called 53. We're all made of glass, cheating ourselves to believe no one can see the cracks, still mending after being broken by a free fall towards a hard reality. The only hard thing to see is how we still become who we are. The only hard thing to see is how we still become who we picture ourselves to be. How do you make a castle from the shards? How can a floor of pieces become whole again? With more years in front of me than I've left behind, it's safe to say that time is the only remedy. See me for what hardships I've passed, for however long the window lasts, because we're all only made of glass. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Let me fix this here. All right. All right, Gila, come on up. But yes, that's a very good message, and it's true. That time does heal all wounds eventually. Yes, very nice.
That's true. Hello, everyone. My name is Gila, and get up on this thing. I haven't spoken any poetry in a long time, so I do. It's a very intimate setting. I like that. So I wanted to start off with a poem. It's called Just Another Love Poem. He asked me, "What do you love about me?" And I paused for a second because I don't know where to start. It's the way you put others before yourself it's the kindness of your heart. It's the way your nose flares when you talk. It's the way your hair sways with each step of your walk. It's the childlike energy that you seem to always possess. It's the way you make me feel secure and I never have to second guess. I love the music of your heartbeat when I lay on your chest. I love the way that you touch me when I don't know where your hands are going next. Your motivation gets me through the day even if I don't show it. You help me in many ways and you might not even know it. I love how much you care for your family and friends. I love how you help me see the world through a different lens. You're so encouraging and strong and ambitious. I pray that God fulfills each and every one of your wishes. I love how you tell me how you feel. It helps me to understand you better as your layers begin to peel. I love how grand your ideas can get. I love that you see a place in your future where I can fit. I know you asked me this question a while ago, but I didn't think my answer was enough. I could go on and on and on, and it might be too much, but it all comes down to one thing, maybe two, and it's the fact that you love me and I love you. Very mushy-gushy, in the puppy love stage, things like that come out. But the next poem is called Thoughts in Solitude. What do you do when you feel alone, even laying next to a person who loves you? Is it that you are unfulfilled? Is it a yearning for the next thrill? I've been alone for 28 years. I've never connected with my peers. Maybe it's my tone or demeanor that makes them scurry, or it's the fear of vulnerability that makes them leave in a hurry. I've always been that transition friend, a placeholder till my position can be filled. I want someone who's just happy to be around me. No motives, no judgment, no selfishness. My thoughts can be relentless at times, but I know I'm not them. I want to just be me because I know I'm not them. From a young age, I've been on the outside looking in, drifting, floating like a lure on a line with no fishermen. Cast me out and forgot to reel me in. Now I'm the big fish in a big pond, not knowing how to swim back in. So loyal to people who leave me splashing and lonely. I understand plans change, I just don't feel like a priority. Friends aren't what they showed me on TV, or maybe isolation just felt easier to me. I'm gushy on the inside with a shell of concrete. Sometimes I creep out just to try again, but I get kicked, stabbed, and pushed back in. Time is pleasantly cruel. Time is pleasantly cruel. It forces me to dust myself off and attempt to create a new ending, even though each time I start with the same beginning. It's a game we play with masks and costumes. But if I participate, who do I become? Just feeling lonely again, so I'm back at square one. I often ponder if everyone is just acting on stage, putting a little more enthusiasm into their words or more emotion into their rage. I can't seem to turn the page that I'm on. I can't seem to switch lanes. My brain isn't yours, but I thought no one's was the same. Only similar, and that's where I'll find my tribe. But it's hard to stay hopeful when you're afraid and alone inside. Thank you. And I just wanted to do one more that I wrote years ago, and it's called Let's Chill. My phone vibrates. I look at the clock and it's 3 a.m. But I'm getting a text from him and I think he can't sleep without hearing from me. I stretch into the bedpost, reach my heels. I look at the message and it reads, "Let's chill." Now I know in this situation, chill means everything but chill, but he knows he gives me the chills when around him in 90-degree weather. Not knowing whether or not I should reply, I rely on my instincts and instantly I say, "Tonight?" He says, "Yes, tonight. Right now, boo." And I know this sounds pathetic, but whenever he calls me boo or bae, I already know what I'm going to say when he asks me to chill. Now, it's 3:15 a.m., and I really want to be with him, although his definition of chill differs from mine. See, me, I just want to recline into his arms while he holds me, maybe watch TV until we fall asleep, but he wants to impersonate the contents of a kitchen drawer, spoon until he can fork, and then kick me out of the kitchen. He'd say I'm bitching if I caught feelings because any feelings should be hidden when you're just chilling. And I look like the villain when love is my mission and his is to just finish. No, I tell every mirror that I am not a piece of ground beef that can be bitten once and then tossed aside when he finds a better burger. See, I want him to be mesmerized by my buns, but also by my content. I want him to lick my condiments but still compliment my beauty. And when he asks me to chill, let it be at noon. So I'll soon know that he wants to get to know me, not what's under my clothes, but what's under my skin within, sink into the depths of my heart and explore the counterparts of my brain. Now, parts of me want to give in, and the other part says it's time to take a stand, but it's almost 4 a.m. I know he's waiting on an answer. I panic. I feel this is the only way I can be close to him, and we'll be done in about an hour. I shower and make my way to his room by 4:30. I feel dirty, but he makes me feel clean, feel wanted, feel loved. And although we skipped the hugs and kisses and went straight to business, I couldn't help but think that he was the one, the father of our unborn son. Thank you.
Well, I'm very happy you shared that tonight. Those were fantastic. Very, very nice. All right. Gino, you ready to go? All right. Let's get you hooked up here on the amp here. And we got you there on the vocals.
Hello. My name's Chena. I'm gonna play a song that I wrote because I messed it up last time and I want to try and be better at it this time. And then I'm gonna play a cover by Julia Jacqueline because it's a cool song. Before I forget, my Instagram is Chena Maya, ChiinaMaya on Instagram. So yeah. Yeah, this is a song that I wrote, so bubbles of water making sounds in my dreams. Smell of Folgers in the morning. Is it all gone? Did it stay away too long? Heaven or hell, and do you think it? They can roses in the night, so you think I feel it? I'll agree to disagree, 'cause it's gone. Have a home on the hillside. Sit by the fire with a bowl of ice cream. Wait on the porch while it's storming. Did it all go rotten like a peach served on a tree? Heaven or a hell, and do you think it? Licking roses in the night, so you think I feel it? I'll agree to disagree, 'cause it's gone. Were you bubbles of water making sound in my dreams. Smell of Folgers in the morning. Is it all gone? Did I stay away too long? I haven't know how. And do you think it? Picking roses in the night, so you think I feel it? I'll agree to disagree, 'cause it's gone. Thanks. I still kind of messed it up, but okay. This is a Julia Jacqueline cover. I might mess it up a little bit, but it's my last song. Okay. My hands are shaking. Do you really wanna give him the microphone? You know that he'll keep talking long after everyone's gone home. We'll have to pay to keep the lights on, and that bill will arrive when all our savings have gone. Can I say something? Can I give advice? Just hit the main switch so we can sleep well tonight. My social standing got me 6 rows from the front, and my dinner companion was a little drunk. Says he buys the paper, but he reads between the lines. I can show you how I do it. Why don't you come back to mine? Oh, please say something. I'm dying for your advice. I can tell you won't sleep well if you don't show me how to do it right. Call me a cab. I can't walk home. The pain from these shoes that I have outgrown. Thanks. Okay, bye.
Thank you very much, Gina. Fantastic voice. Very good guitar playing. Yeah, our co-executive director, Aston Lopez, is also a very good guitarist. Very nice voice. Seriously. Very, very good. Yeah, keep it up. Seriously. That's okay. Yeah, keep it up. That's why we do this, is to nourish people. And got a lot of good things happening. Seriously. Yeah, very nice. All right, up next we have the wonderful co-executive director of Sacred Voices and his own person in his own right and a fantastic musician and guitarist Aston Lopez. Come on down to talk about your new EP and your new single. Do you need anything to connect?
Hello. Let's see if we can get a bit more slack with this. So, my name is Aston. I am co-executive director for Sacred Voices, along with Bree, who's back there. I'm going to be doing a song today from my new EP. That'll be coming out a week from today. The EP is called Shame Spiral, and this is a track I have not done yet for this open mic, so this will be a little bit of a debut. Isn't that fun? Yeah, I put out a single last week, and that one did pretty well. I was very happy with the reception of that, so I'm hoping that the momentum will continue in this next week as well. So this one is called Rhoda, and I have a backing track as well, so our friend Jason in the back will be assisting with that. That is not the right track. Whenever you're ready, Jason. Thank you very much. So one more time, my name is Aston. That track was called Rhoda. My new EP is called Shame Spiral. It will be out on all platforms on January 20th.
Very nice. And when does that new music video come out of yours?
Oh, I don't know, but I did film it.
Oh, yes. Very
I
nice. So
filmed
that's
the
coming
music video last week or so, so we're in the editing phase for that, which is fun. I don't know how long that editing phase will
Very
last.
nice. And where can we find you?
So you can find me on all major platforms. The best way to find me is to find my Instagram. So I am at Aston Guitar. It's ASTIN Guitar. And you can find me on my link tree there and follow me on all those platforms and all that.
Very good. Well, thank you very much, Aston, as always.
Thank you.
Aston Lopez, everybody. All right, Bree, are you ready? I hear you. I don't see you. There you are. Yeah, come on down and share some of your thoughts with us tonight. This is our executive director, everybody.
Hi. Hello. Very tired.
Yeah, so take note, without Bree and Aston's wonderful endeavors and pursuits to make Sacred Voices a beautiful, wonderful thing, none of this would happen. We also just won the Mayor's Award of Excellence not too long ago. So, yeah, round of applause for that.
Yeah.
So, very, very nice to meet the mayor. It was interesting.
Gotta love the mayor.
Gotta love the mayor.
Gotta love the mayor.
And can't wait for another one. Anyway, here we go.
Cool.
Thank you.
I have 2 poems, and then I'm gonna get out of y'all's face so that we can see our feature. I just wrote this one. It's a work in progress, so why not try it out at Sacred Voices? Cool. I clap the loudest at open mics, and I challenge whoever thinks I'm wrong. Check my palms stained with red with atonement. I make the God of Thunder want to reconsider life. It's definitely a flex, a little encouragement to those brave enough to bless the mic. I want to make sure my homies know I see them. Send echolocation waves through fingertips, cast Expelliarmus spells into your headspace to remind you that you the shit. I go gospel with my claps. When the verses hit, something in me, statistically speaking, I might have a group of black deaconess in my bones. They give me courage to rip open awkward silence. Really, I'm just following the rules of an open mic. Clap when you hear something good, hoot and holler when you feel it. And I am the one who works the beat clap best. Thanks. Yeah. I really do challenge y'all. I clap the loudest. I like almost broke my finger at an open mic once. That was a fun time. I have one more, and I'm trying to find it. I'm also trying to save time. I'm also very weird. Where did it go? Sure. We can do this one. It just won't show up on television because there's cussing. Cool. It's a call and response thing. So I'm going to say something. You're going to say something back. I'm going to say something. And then you're going to say something back. It'll be fun. We're going to try it out. So when I say, bitch, I'm mad, y'all are going to say, why you mad, boo? So we're going to try it out. Bitch, I'm mad. Why you mad, bitch, I'm mad. Why you mad, bitch, I'm mad. Because I'm tired of forcing my body to write poetry for the fuck shit. Because you get more money when you show how many bones you cracked under your chest. How many times you shriveled up your throat when all you could do is scream. When you get asked to be the feature, the poet of the month, the special one. When anger and blackness is the emotion you provide. Bitch, I'm mad. Why you mad, bitch, I'm mad. Because the spit is what they're after. They collect it in buckets and bottles and sell them in their holistic shops. Because the fire you bring to the open mic only aids in keeping their obsession alive. Bitch, I'm mad. Why you mad, dude? Because I'm pouring my all into what my ancestors have given me. Pouring my energy into something that doesn't even love me back. Where they'll tell you they love your words but ignore you when they tell you that they kicked your uncles and cousins out for the sake of their glass lops and art sculptures that don't make no damn sense. Rip the culture and rename. That's how you get a historic district, right? I mean an art gallery, right? I mean 5 points, right? Am I a black body or another hashtag for them to muralize somewhere in the West? God, I hope they have Adrienne Norris painting me. God, I hope they have an open mic that's hosted by Bianca McCon. God, I hope Carrie Joy is the feature. Bitch, I'm mad. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bree. Bree, once again, everybody. Give it a hand for Bree and Aston, 2 very wonderful, heartfelt, passionate people that I enjoy working with all the time. That's why I do 3 open mics a month for them. All right. So now, without further ado, last and certainly not least, very, very happy to have this wonderful featured poet with us tonight. I will do the feature bio. Poet, fiction writer, and performer Seth openly admits to having a sordid love affair with language. Seth has garnered numerous awards for his pioneering efforts to meld spoken word with other performing arts. Currently, Seth heads Art Compost and The Word Mechanics, a musical poetic ensemble streaming live on Facebook every Sunday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. The band invites open mic poets to join them in a weekly poetic musical jam at Denver's Mercury Cafe, which isn't too far from here. He is the author of a poetic memoir, A Black Odyssey, and a satirical novel, The Perfect Stranger, which received the Award of Excellence from the Colorado Authors League and first place in literary fiction from the Colorado Independent Publishers Association. Give it up for Seth.
Hi, everyone, and thanks for being here. So I'm going to divide my set in two. I'll do some poetry for you first, and then I'll read from my satirical novel. I'm going to start with my open letter to Osama bin Laden. And I will mention that I do borrow a line from Lucille Clifton, and the line is, "In history, even the lies are true." Dear Osama, Sitting Bull, Geronimo, and Red Cloud greet you. We have heard about the travesty and read with great sympathy your complaint, but be advised, in history, the lies are true. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Snow White, with her 7 dwarfs. We, too, were once terrorists, scourge to civilization, threat to their freedom. Like your Palestinian, removed from the land of our ancestors as if our rights, our desperation, our starving and slaughtered children did not exist. He holds these truths to be self-evident, that all men, except those in his way, are equal. Like you, we evaded their cavalry, attacked instead white picket fences and SUVs parked in the 2-door garages where our teepees used to be, while out in the yard their broken treaties flapped in the wind. And for that, we were the barbarians, made to crawl on our wounded knees, wrapped in blankets of smallpox, herded like our buffalo to near extinction. And so, we feel compelled to warn you, Osama, that in history, even the lies are true. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Armed with manifest destiny and his good neighbor policy, spreading goodwill and good cheer, a new, improved laundry detergent, guaranteed to take the dinge out of indigenous, and guaranteed to whitewash any dictator's bloody genes. By the way, Osama, Che Guevara sends his greetings. He holds these truths to be self-evident, that the death of 1 million Indians or 1 billion Arabs can never measure up to the comfy lives of even just a few cozy, all-consuming Americans. And you, Osama, you slew more than 3,000. That makes you evil. And all her bombs, incursions, subterfuge, preemptive strikes, waterboardings, drone attacks, assassinations, good. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Perhaps you thought in lashing out that you might reveal to her her sin, but Snow White has slept with 1,000 dogs and still remains a virgin. Read her history books. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Snow White, pure as the driven snow, her children playing cowboys and Indians. Pure as the driven snow, she will bury you in, Osama. Because in his story, even the lies are true. All right, my volume is called The Black Odyssey, and it's structured after Homer's Odyssey. The next poem I'm going to read is from the chapter Feast in the Great Hall. If you're familiar with the Odyssey, once Odysseus comes back to Ithaca, he disguises himself as a beggar and goes into the Great Hall to kind of check out what's going on. So this is in the chapter Feast in the Great Hall. Rome now has a president. They say he's a god. Out of a burning Barbara bush comes George. George, I cannot tell a lie, Washington. King George, Saint George, the dragon slayer, for what dragons there are to slay. George raises his sword if you pull the right string. Pull another string and he lifts his head, smiles his crooked smile, and proclaims, the only good engine is a dead engine. Proclaims, where our niggas is happy. They love being slaves, while without us, they'd still be running through the jungle naked. Proclaims, those sissy fags ain't dating my sister. Sure, I believe in equality, but they ain't human. I'm human. In fact, I'm a god. Rome now has a president, the best president money can buy. Cocksure, the cock in his hand is anyone's but his own. Cock-a-doodle-doo as he blood mixed with oil spews. Baby seals flap their flippers and gasp for breath as he takes a bow. Cock-a-doodle-doo as he twists his screw into anyone who refuses to be just like him. Rome now has a president. They say he's a god, his blown dry hair waving in the breeze like amber waves of grain. I pledge allegiance to his flag and to the flagging of his justice, his just us, no matter what that reconstituted Constitution says. Ahem! The problem with the poor is they starve too much. Take away their food. That'll teach them. Rome now has a president, compassionate, conservative. So conservative you barely see the sleight of hand as empires collide and tyrants rise to become U.S. certified champions of democracy, while keeping their own people under lock and key and away from the American press. So conservative you barely see the sleight of hand as you balloon to 3 times your normal weight. But hey, it's good for the economy. So conservative you barely see his lips move to say, yeah, all right, we did topple your democratically elected government, and yeah, we slipped in our puppet, and he tortured, slashed, and killed tens of thousands of you people. So what's the big deal? Hey, look, it's almost time for lunch. I think I'll order the veal. So conservative you barely see the sleight of hand as freedom fighters are poof, transformed into terrorists. The moment they aim the weapons that we sold them back at us. Rome now has a president. They say he's a God, a compassionate God who cares about his people and only his people. Heaven help you if you're not one of his people. Have you ever felt the wrath of God? Just keep being different. You will. Okay, and I want to end my poetry on a more positive note. This is in the chapter in which Odysseus goes down to the underworld. The chapter is titled A Gathering of Shades. This is titled Ode to Great Ghosts. When I gaze into a melancholy sky, one blanketed in gray, the sun a dingy stain in a smoke-sooted ceiling, I fret not the frigid wind, the oblique slash of rain, the gnawing termites at my soul's bones, and neither do I sigh as I watch sad rivers of traffic belch at stoplights, or managers dangling in neckties, egos swaggering, or staggering teenagers jiving on the static of afternoon red-eye. One tear only do I spare for missiles saluting like soldiers, stern, resolute, obedient to push-button orders. Man is a failed crop, pimp-pushing philosophers say. We have known dry winds, even orchestrated our own drought. We've known torrents and knocked knees at thunder. And having manufactured thunder, bottled it and dropped it on ourselves, have trembled at our own terribleness. We've spread seed on rock, in blood-soiled mud, along the fertile crescent of madmen, entrepreneurs, salespersons, and prophets. We have flooded deserts, smothered swamps, hammered ore into bullets. In cauldrons mixed poisons children use as bubble bath. Weathering boredom's drizzle by fanning whims of bearded tyrants, we have carved our scar, etched our initials into history's gushing cheek. We have made more than Jesus weep. Yet, when I think of those who have plowed this dirt before me, who read truth by stars, turned sand into windows, who made rhyme and rhythm chiseled truths into stone, who smeared dyes along high-arched ceilings and breathed soul into slaving in the hot sun, billowy clouded songs. When I recall those who shivered in the lighthouse as winds whipped at cobwebbed windows and fog enveloped fast-fading moonglow, what great ghosts haunt these halls? Ghosts named Plato, Socrates. Such great ghosts do haunt these halls, with short names like Homer, Buddha, Dante, and long ones like Michelangelo. Names noble like Napoleon, humble as Jesus, mad as Nietzsche and Van Gogh. Reverent names, Confucius, Lao Tzu, St. Paul. And men and women who left no name at all, but counseled by ghosts breathing in books, dancing from trumpets, quilted in blankets to keep warm what's young, have lifted boulders and turned back floods, have parted rivers and dared the will of pharaohs. When I recall such ghosts, once flesh, once muscle, blood, and bone, whose spit lit candles, whose cries fanned failing embers, rekindling the tearful triumphs that fuel the communal campfire in the black forest of the human soul, I realize Lincoln's, Einstein's, Aristotle's will continue to sprout among us. No cloud ever extinguished sun. Truth shall forever rise from the ashes of fallen angels. Earthquakes shall forever scatter empires mortgaged on greed, hate, lies. So let the thunderclouds cackle, let the mortars grumble, let the rain rain red. Any second, a deranged Uzi might mow me down on a shopping mall sidewalk. Another brain-splattered blade of grass laid senselessly dead. Still, grateful, I tumble this raging, psychotic sea, bolstered by those ghosts who once plowed this ocean before me, who unearthed among rocks, roots, worms, and trees that rough-cut gem called immortality. So, that's a Black Odyssey. Now I'm going to read some satire for you. This is my book of The Perfect Stranger, and according to the Library of Congress, it's an absurdist satire, which is valid because there's a lot of absurd things that happen in it, and there's also a lot of satirical commentary, which you'll see by this section I'm going to read for you. My protagonist is known only by the initial S, and he comes into town looking for someone, and during his search he gets to learn all about this town. The novel is just as much about the town as it is about my protagonist. In this scene, he's being brought to court, and it opens with a character by the name of Neiman Gorge, who happens to be the town's head librarian and also the town's leading intellectual. And every Saturday, he gives these lectures to his book club, which is called the Bookworm Illegitima, which is a book club for people born out of wedlock and other miscellaneous bastards. Unbeknownst to Neiman, the members of his book club are a group of radicals who are using what they learned from him to overthrow the town. So S never got to attend one of these lectures, but had S entered Armacropolis a month or two sooner, had he stumbled up the library steps and lumbered down into the basement for one particular lecture dispensed to the over-eager ears of the bookworms illegitima, he would have heard Neiman Gorge pontificate on that medium-rare phenomenon known as the human institution. Institutions, Neiman informed the timid-eyed Heidi, the knuckle-cracking Hector, the skeptical Ruth, the snoring Ralph, the fidgeting Sedgwick, searching that particular day for his belly button. Institutions are a curious animal. Human institutions inevitably subvert themselves. Becoming more concerned with preserving the institution, they eventually embrace principles antithetical to the very ideals they profess to champion. Take the institution of the now defunct Christianity he used as an example. That antiquated religion was originally intended to unite all mankind under one divine deity, to lead all humankind onto the blessed path of universal brotherhood. Yet, no sooner did Christianity institutionalize than they began dividing humanity into Hebrews and Greeks, into Christians and pagans. Soon they were dividing people with swords and axes, and later with machine guns, and finally into teeny-weeny pieces with their bombs. Not content to merely divide Christians from non-Christians, they divided this type of Christian from that type of Christian. They even divided within their own families, split over one interpretation of a particular verse in their Holy Scripture against another. Neiman went on, espousing how this phenomenon was not the sole domain of Christianity, but repeated itself ad infinitum within all the once great religions during that ill-fated middle period of human history. Had S sat in on the lecture, he would have also have learned a bit or two about the human institution called law. According to legal historians, the legal system was initially established to ferret out truth, then mete out justice. But the evolution of said institution quickly led magistrates and judges, lawyers and attorneys, bailiffs and litigators to become more concerned with salaries, procedural loopholes, public opinion, political expediency, and bribes not easily traceable. Thus, words like truth and justice had often to be looked up in antiquated lexicons, while attorneys and prosecutors were more inclined to dress in their finest and spout words in Greek and or pig's Latin, such that juries and opposing counsels would assume said lawyers knew far more than they actually did. In short, Neiman summarized, the institution of law is now all about winning. What is more, the preponderance of litigation by trial eventually led to the realization that said juries were not won over by being bored out of their skulls, but rather by being entertained, amused, seduced, as it were, into voting for this version of the truth as opposed to that version of the truth. And just by historical coincidence, the librarian pointed out, the institution of art, originally intended to inspire and enlighten, had also evolved into realizing its mission was mainly to draw crowds, i.e., to entertain, since through entertaining the artist might earn enough income to support his/her agent and stifle the incessant whining of his/her muse, which in most cases meant his/her spouse. Thus, the two institutions, the institution of law and the institution of art, merged. Jurors nowadays clamored to sit on the juicier murder cases, the more wanton burglaries, grand larcenies, and extortion cases. Bitter divorces were also in high demand. The more irreconcilable the differences, the more expensive the free popcorn. Everything from parking tickets to unpaid library fines drew crowds of prospective jurors. And why not, when one enjoyed a front row seat to view some of the most highly esteemed actors, musicians, jugglers, con artists, and clowns in the business? And so, when S entered courtside for the first of his preliminary hearings, the three rings comprising the courtroom were humming with court clerks and legal carpenters positioning poles, erecting tents, stringing the tightropes, and securing the nets. Hawkers were selling gourmet popcorn and offering free balloons for $1. Legal advisors with colorful briefs shouted orders and jotted down last-minute motions to the show's itinerary, all the while expertly stepping out of the way of prosecutors sweeping the elephant dung left from the previous trial. Messrs. Booth, Daly, and Ivins, the same ski slope-nosed lawyers who had accosted S in the gymnasium locker room, were gathered in one ring, stretching, practicing their scales, and reviewing the lyrics to their opening number. Their clients, Sir Harry and C.D. Smollett, handed them towels, passed around bottles of Alligatorade, and distributed a white powdery substance which, when snorted, was said to improve performance, or at least one's perception of one's performance. Filkin Grimspoon consulted S in the second ring. As S's self-appointed attorney, Grimspoon donned a black leotard. A pink and white candy-striped tutu hugged his slender hips. His strategy, he informed S, was to begin with a brief ballet vignette, followed by a monologue from a well-known tragedy of a grizzled old man who kills his entire family, then frames it on their German shepherd. "Don't worry," Grimspoon assured S. "Jurors love dogs. Besides, I'm a master of the sad puppy-eyed look." When the lawyer demonstrated, S had to stifle a sniffle. "This is only the preliminary hearing," Grimspoon informed S. "Which side wins the most applause not only gets the plusher seats, but also decides if closing arguments are to be done in dramatic monologue, an abstract modern dance piece, or an operatic aria. If I win and I select modern dance, we've won. None of the opposing counsel know beans about modern dance. Unless, of course, he added after doing a quick plie, they hire additional counsel. But not to worry, we can appeal and hire more dancers ourselves. Plus, I know a choreographer who has done wonders with hung juries. S. glanced around the courtroom. The man he had come to know as Sir Harry leered at him, brandishing his cane and sticking out his tongue. Mr. Smollett, who had renounced their secret partnership, did everything in his nervous power not to glance in S.'s direction. The presiding judge rapped his gavel and the jury arranged their chairs. The lights dimmed save for 2 roving spotlights shining from the ceiling. The yellow beams searched and steadied on the rings for the defense and the prosecution. The judge instructed the defendant and the suing parties to find their seats. Once S and his opponents were seated, an orchestra rose from a hidden stage illuminated by floor lights. The judge then ordered the bailiff to proceed. The bailiff, wigged and coat-tailed, rapped his baton on the legal stand, raised both hands with an affected flourish, and waved his arms, prompting the orchestra to begin. The overture brought tears, then warm smiles to the jury's eyes. Following the opening came the 3-part harmony of Messrs. Booth, Daly, and Ivans, replete with twirling canes, kicking heels, and a climax in which their identical straw hats rolled up their arms, bounced off their biceps, and landed simultaneously atop their swollen heads. The maneuver drew rapt applause as well as beads of sweat on S.'s forehead. No sooner did the applause die down than the lights dimmed and the orchestra began again. Grimspoon stood motionless, head bowed, hands at his side. Just as unexpectedly, he suddenly pirouetted into action, flying hither and thither about the full perimeter of the ring. One moment his body tense and despairing, the next it was filled with flight and exhilaration. The entire courtroom sat hushed, completely entranced. S. felt his muscles relax. So there's a sample of my crazy absurdist novel. I'm going to end. I like to end with positive things, so I'm just going to do a really short poem here. This is actually not in my book. I wrote this to be performed for kids. It's titled The Golden Rule. Do unto others as you would have others do unto you. This is what the Christians say. But Confucius said that too. Do not do unto others what you would not have them do unto you, though they say it different ways. It's the same golden rule. Hurt not others in ways you yourself find hurtful. This is how the Buddhists have it phrased. While the Hindus say if you do not to others what you would not have them do to you, you'll be happy all your days. Could it really be true? Do both us and they believe the same golden rule? Desire for your brother what you would have him desire for you. This is what the Muslims say. But the Indians believe that too. Let me not judge my neighbor till I've walked a mile in his shoes. Though they say it different ways, it's the same golden rule. What is hateful to you, do not do unto your neighbor. That is the law and the wisdom of the Jews. Regard your neighbor's gain as your own, his loss as your loss too. The Taoists say that. Though they say it different ways, it's the same golden rule. Could it really be true? Though we talk different languages, wear different clothes, eat different food, we all believe the same golden rule. Thank you, guys. I really enjoyed this.
Thank you very much, Seth. Always a pleasure to hear you. One more time for everybody tonight, and also particularly Seth again, everybody. Keep you up here a few more minutes. But, I just love to see this blending of generations. Before I was even born, you were doing this. But after I came into creation here, he also lives in the same neighborhood that I do. He was one of my first exposures to poetry and music. And I remember, I think it was at the one church in our neighborhood, you were doing a performance. And I just remember you with music in the background and you performing. I'm like, whatever he's doing, I was a little kid. I was like, whatever he's doing, I want to do something like that. So I'm just very honored and grateful that you are here tonight to share us all of your beautiful poetry and writings today. So we'll stay in touch. But yes, thank you all very much for joining us this evening. Once again, this is Sacred Voices Open Mic. Do you have anything else you want to say?
I'll just mention that my website is wagingart.com. And if you go to Seth and Art Compost, either my Facebook page, we stream my jams at the Mercury Cafe live, and on the YouTube channel, we take the highlights and we put them on there. So Seth and Art Compost or wagingart.com.
Very, very nice. Well, thank you very much, Seth. Very much. All right. Well, good night, everybody, and safe journeys out there. And we will see you all next time.